What's up everybody, Gundam Flexing here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade Universal Sentry MSK-008 Dijeh. This Gundam is featured in Gundam Zeta and also in Gundam Narrative. This product came out around in 2018 of December and is about $17 at the time of this video. And for $17 you get the model kit in front of you, which includes 3 weapon systems, his clay bazooka, his naginata, and his beam rifle. And before we go into the product itself, I'd first like to go over all the extra pieces you don't see in front of you. So first coming up is the sticker sheet. And as noted in the unboxing video, the sticker sheet is very minimal. There's only one that's left over here, which is an interchangeable eyepiece. It might be an interchangeable, it might be an extra piece. I accidentally cut it out of the runner, but that's what it's for. There is no significant difference. You also have 2 additional hands right here. So one is on the naginata weapon, and the other is the exact same one, except it's the left side, and this one is the right hand, as such. And these are very simple hands, typical of a high grade. Pretty much you have like the knuckle piece, the back piece, and a thumb piece. And basically you curl it up in a weapon. And here is the beam naginata. This is an extendable, like such. The 2 ends are see-through or transparent yellow pieces. The handle is actually 3. You have the main handle, and then you got the tips that curves to the end, right there. And what's interesting about this weapon is when I first tried to put it in the hand, I was a little bit worried that it'd be loose because there isn't anything that's actually connecting the weapon to the hand. So I was afraid that it would slide back and forth really easy, but it's really not. All you have to do is just push the hand onto one end of the corner and his fist stays in place. I'm tugging and pulling and it pretty much stays in place, which is pretty cool. Very simple weapon, like that. And also, here is his beam rifle. What we saw in the box art, the beam rifle looked like the tubing system on the top was going to be a separate piece, but it is not. So this beam system is actually pretty typical of any high grade. You have the nozzle, the muzzle, which is a separate piece, and then you got the left piece, you got the right piece, and you slap them together, and you have the beam rifle. And then finally, nothing important here, you just have the PC caps, and you only have 2 extra ones right here, which usually these 2 pieces go around the shoulder joints, but the shoulder joints in this model, as the box indicated, is a little different, which gives it a farther mobility and a greater flexibility. This is the PC caps. So this is the final product. If we were to start with the head, you'll notice his very long single fin. And as indicated during the unboxing video, here is the rubber tubing behind his head. And like I said, again, I wish more high grades would have these kind of rubber tubings and even some rubber pieces. One thing to keep cognizant is when you place these tubes in the back of his head, right here on the head end, to use pliers, and you really want to jam it in there. If not, it may not fit properly, and if you were to turn his head left to the right, left or the right, it could come out very easily. Looking at his collars, you could tell that the collars aren't going to obstruct the way he looks, so that's something you just want to keep an eye out. And if we look at his chest, nothing particularly special except the red piece driven in his center. Now it fits into a little crevice at the bottom, so if you were to look straight, that red piece would essentially be straight as well. And if you were to twist his torso, because it's in the crevice, the red piece would obstruct its position, so you just have to raise the red piece and then you're able to twist and turn him as such. I'm going to split this guy in half for a moment, and let's look at his little special features here, his heat fins. Now originally I thought the heat fins would be like a single piece and you have to align these blue stickers around it, and that's definitely not the case. These are actually separate pieces, 3 separate pieces. You have the blue frame itself, And you got these two teal pieces that fit in just like a puzzle. So if I were to take it out, just one end, doesn't matter which end, you could just push it out very slowly like that, and to put it back in, you just squeeze it in there and it'll fit very snug like that. Now these fins are connected to a thruster system, which is connected to the backpack, the single backpack with that one single thruster, via a ball joint. So it does have a lot of maneuverability like such. And you also notice these hooks on the end, right here and right here, and that's actually for his clay bazooka. So you're actually able to mount his clay bazooka on the back of his backpack. He's also able to mount his bazooka right here on his shoulder. And from what I've done so far, I could tell you that the clay bazooka will fit in there very nice, and these ball joints are strong enough to hold the weight, which is a huge plus for me. Here are some red pieces too. If we were to look at his shoulder guard, you have these two shoulder guards, and it's a little unfortunate. The one right here is it's really smooth. It's actually very, very plain, but it's nothing like detrimental. And it fits into a ball joint like that, just like a Zaku shield. And this is his side shield. It's a little bit smooth as well, nothing special about the articulations. You do have two stickers at the tips right here and at the other end, and it also fits via a ball joint like that, and it fits in there very well. When we took a look at the box, we also saw the, I guess, his flexibility, and these are his shoulder joints, if you may. So these things could come out a little bit farther, which gives his, I guess, his arm range a greater range of motion, so he's able to reach a little bit farther. Here is the clay bazooka, and this bazooka, just like the beam rifle, is very simple. It's essentially just two pieces, left and right, slap it together. Here's his hook for a mount, and here's his handle for the trigger, and that's it. His other shoulder, which is a little strange for me, not the fact that you can mount his clay bazooka right here, but it's just this protruding piece right here. I have really no idea. It's a little bit strange because, I don't know, he's just like sticking out, unless if he uses it to ram people or something. And you have a very small sticker, a triangle Triforce right there. His arms, nothing too peculiar. Same thing, reminds me of a Zaku, especially the circular format here. This is his left open hand, and I will tell you now that this is the only left open hand. You do not get a right open hand, so essentially his right trigger, and then you have his holder hand, that's it. Looking at the bottom portion of his body, you have the pretty big skirt at the front, and just like that shoulder guard, it's very plain, it's smooth, there's no special articulation about it. Here is the back, and this is the holster for the beam Naginata. See if I could just do that as an example, like that. Fits in very well. Also indicated by the box, a special feature is the triplets for his thrusters. And again, like I mentioned, it's a cool little feature to have, but if you're not familiar with the model, you'll never know it's there because it's definitely not visible. Behind his knees, indicate here as this one accidentally pushed out, and the opposite end as well. These are the remaining two rubber pieces. And again, the ends, the single ends, are a little difficult to push in there. So if you have like pliers, you just squeeze them and jam them up in there. His legs are fairly simple. You have a front ventilation system at the front and almost none at the back. And you got two ventilations at the side of his legs. Looking at his feet, it may look like he has flexion between his front part of his feet and the heels, but he does not. It's actually a single piece, so he's not able to squeeze his toes towards his heels. However, what I like about this feet is that it is wide and it's a good base for any sort of like tabletop posing versus the other Gunpla kits where their feet are like maybe like the front part of this guy's feet, and sometimes it creates a little bit imbalance issues. And if you wanted to put him in some sort of like different pose, it's able to pose him a little bit easier with the balance. His legs also comes with 2 flaps at the front, like this and like this. The complexity of these legs are very simple. It's basically you get the left piece, and then you get the right piece, you get the front piece, and you have the cover and you slap it together, and that's essentially it. His knee flexion is actually pretty great. Here's a 90-degree, and that's it. So here's the top part, here's the bottom part, as such. So overall, for $17, I think this high kit is absolutely worth it. It has minimal stickers, so if that's your thing, this is definitely the Gunpla for you. It also only has 3 weapons: the clay bazooka, his beam rifle, and his naginata. His beam rifle is a tad bit different from the box art, so you don't have that tubing at the top. It's a very simple weapon, left piece, right piece, and the muzzle slapped together. I like this kit because of the little heat fins at the top here. I also like this kit because of the color scheme. What I don't like about this kit is just something very simple, is his little shoulder guard is plain with no articulation, and his skirt is also pretty big with minimal articulation as well. It's smooth, generally speaking. But if you're eyeballing this kit, I could definitely recommend it. If you have any questions and comments, please post it down in the section below. And as always, I appreciate you all for watching, and peace out.